Julie here with Sirius Dallas Moon, and this is Mercury, our moon day. And the ascendant is 27 degrees Sagittarius, Jupiter 21 degrees Cancer, and the midheaven 13 degrees Libra. Moon is still conjoining Mercury at 6 and 7 degrees Libra. And we're talking Mars ingressing into Scorpio, which of course is going to be a scorpionic length and depth of conversation. Um, there's the part 3 of this episode, and this is where in Libra we talk about the private being the political, but in Scorpio, the square between the privacy of Scorpio and the open air of Pluto is that there are certain things that need the air and light and to be on air. Certain things need to be on air to get addressed. And with the Scorpio, it is the innermost things. Now, because of those Treason cults, talk about the role of the camera. And a lot of the treason is done, and I was thinking about it a lot because many people have obsessive psychosexual wounds around visibility, and camera in particular, because in the treason cults, basically there had to be a camera. Like she starts with that. And basically it sets the tone, whether it's the child that has to, as Annika Lucas puts it, is tortured to make the adult person feel comfortable with raping a child when their faces to the camera. And important is the grown-up face to the camera because they're the politician, does this person, royalty. And yeah, Shirley's Shirlene again. Anyway. And then, first of all, for anybody that's been filled without their willing, revenge porn or whatnot, I just want you to think about that face of those politicians. Falcon, you are okay. You see, you've been filled masturbating without your consent. Of course, that's rape. You're being ostracized because you dance naked in your own apartment. Okay, that's rape. They're being on camera raping a child with their face to the camera. That's embarrassing. Let's set the record straight. That's embarrassing. The lawyers that are supposed to represent you on the revenge porn cases, they have their faces on camera. Now, if the revenge porn was done by the people that are associated with the particular extortion cult, or if money changes hands enough for that extortion cult to ally with that extortion cult, jurisdiction is not going to be suffice. But you also think on a psychosexual level, some filming somebody without the consent. Now, first of all, when it comes to astral watchers, a lot of this is not even volitional because people are tortured so much. They literally have floater personalities. And they're like seeing people, like, for example, I remember I watched a tarot channel, and that tarot channel, probably she had either a floater that was a watcher. And then I was shown that person. I was just shown that person. I didn't ask to see anything. I was just shown that person kind of being like an erotic dancer or something like that. And then somebody's like trying to like petting their face or something. where they're supposed to be in this subjugated position. And I'm like, I never, I never asked to see that information. But okay, I don't know if this was correct information or not. It's obviously it's kind of like it's my business, but very likely they've seen stuff that it was not their business either, and it kind of worked in that way for some reason. There's a trajectory to information. Okay. I'm not saying that when you look, people are looking at you. When people are looking at you, you're looking always. But sometimes it does work like that a bit. And yeah, let's sleep in Mars's race. Rest. The true. I loved it when just on the day of the eclipse, I was watching Annika Lucas, and as I usually it's very funny, but I usually calm down by watching a testimony of a person that I know already from their testimonies, and it's just like calming in a way. I don't know how to I don't know how to explain that. And then she was talking about the fact that she became aware of what was happening to her at the onset of the death row case. Now I don't know exactly what my um, yeah. So yes, MK often. Um, but this is something that and then she names it. Anyway, um, this is where those things that are now discussed, they're supposed to be, it's very taboo, very private, very this, or like, folk can put cameras on people without their knowing and they want their privacy now. It's not even on the Libra sense of what was done in secret, if it was abusive, will be brought to light. It's both that and that. Because what was secret also had a secret camera and a shit ton of drugs. So this is the square between Pluto that is like it's on air and it's out of bounds, and the people that are supposed to be shamed, which is like under the control, the people that are supposed to be shamed were the people like they did revenge porn of them. It's like, she's a whore, she's a this, she masturbated in her own apartment. Do you masturbate sometimes? She was not even watching porn. Now here is to confuse the BCI a real bit. Know when people masturbate and just put something on that's completely unrelated? Now everybody get their mind working, try to write scripts. Anyway, chicken of the sea. Um, so yeah, so this is where that thing goes out of control, because the people are like, well, doesn't that dude have an Epstein footage? Isn't like more embarrassing? Think about the shame, the shame. Handing the shame back. I probably didn't know Annika Lucas was of the leaders of that narrative. Um, that woman doesn't even get the fractures of the respect she's deserved. And And so think about handing the shame back, okay? But think about like, hey, that picture of that person raping a child to camera, way more embarrassing, way more difficult to explain. And it's also the case that those people have traumas to do with orgasms, lethal events, treason, and cameras. Of whichever side of the ritual they've been, because they've been in both, all of them, except for the ones that opted out, that like they didn't become like a politician or a business person or, you know, and it's not really opted like it's way more intricate than that. But the thing is, but the thing is that those traumas seem to perpetuate that even the transmutation is touching on those traumatic things. Like, oh, now that private thing is on air, and that's the thing. In Libra, there is a balancing act. In Scorpio, it's not even revenge; it's genuine transmutation, because there's nothing to revenge. There's those people were tortured, then they did it to those people. To transmute the cycle, we need to bring it into the light so it can't be done anymore. And that's the part that all of those that said the Me Too went too far, 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 wearing all the penguin suits, and now the penguin went too far with it. Next to the wall with the little hat, the penguin. But the penguin went too far. And then and then it's like it's Mars in Scorpio o'clock. It's on air. It's on air. It's on air. She was a whore, she was a this, she was a she did not opt to have a camera there, which would make the before, during, and after standards of good sex fail the test of footage. Think just a moment of silence for people trying to prove that she was agreeing to have sex by having a hidden camera. Like, good morning. The hidden camera is rape. You've proved yourself a rapist. Go 20 years in jail or whatnot, or be assassin. If it was an extortion code, there'll be assassin. Anyway, but hey, Scorpio is here to transmute stuff. It's not about revenge. It's not about the balancing act. It's about that needs to be in the light. So much so that dumb fuckery can't be done anymore. And to people, it can look like revenge, but because it's incredibly traumatic. But it's like, hey, to continue that, that's incredibly traumatic. To keep doing and perpetuating those things and eat at the heart of society and everything natural. Scorpio is the natural realm. That is traumatic. Trying to think when bad stuff I was doing was being put into a full stop. Trying to come up with a concrete example. It's not going to be anywhere like the Epstein rings, but still trying to be relatable here. I don't know. And the funny thing is that I have like a cutoff right now, so it's looked like it takes me time to think, but it takes me time to think because I'm like cut off from being able to associate and remember. And that looks really funny, like I'm really thinking to myself. No, I'm not thinking myself, I'm just like trying to retrieve my memory, and I don't have anything because the memory is kind of like not really here. Because I don't have anything. And but I don't know, try to think of something stupid you were doing, and then it's kind of like being brought to the light, and it's like really embarrassing, but you won't do it anymore. Oh, I know what. I was picking my nose and eating it when I was a young child. And it was caught on camera. So, And it took me really long time trying to, in my bathroom, try to quit that. I was a child. You see? Okay, so it's kind of like that thing is really stupid. Probably shouldn't be done. That's embarrassing enough. So, and now here's the thing: when they began to do these watcher things, like on a real big scale, then a lot of people thought that it would be like, oh, people are watched all the time. It's gonna make them feel embarrassed and change their behavior. And definitely change their behaviors, like mass slaughter to MK Ultra, mass slaughter to MK Often, mass slaughter to trying to manifest mass slaughter all the time. But then it's like, hey, you guys been watching for the intelligence, right? It's like, okay, look at that thing. I can't afford a flight. You do something about that. They're like, we can't afford being in our own body. Wow, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. I already hear my colleagues talking about why the Cultural Revolution didn't work. Folk can stop talking about it. Start slaughtering the right people so we wouldn't have it again. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I don't have an access to like the A bomb or something. I don't know. Um, but this is where the closing square of Mars and Pluto is really challenging, just for this reason.